Hey everybody, welcome to our Saturday stream. Hope you're all doing good. We're currently in Frankfurt, Germany. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon. We're doing an evening flight over to London Heathrow. Before we start, a couple points. I've posted a schedule of video releases and stuff up on the website, the YouTube site, sorry, in the discussions or community section. And if you hear any banging and stuff like that, I got some noisy neighbors making noise, so my apologies for that. Anyway, let's jump in and get things started. There we go. It's a little bit quieter. Oh, hang on a second. I'm hearing a little bit of voice feedback. All right, solve that. All right, we'll get the batteries going. And get the ground power on, and we'll throw on the interior dome lights. And we'll start getting some illumination in this place. So I am running the A320X mod, which mods up the default aircraft. Not the latest version, I've had some issues with that, but the version before. So get one notch on the panel and on the pedestal. And there is a flickering light issue, really shows up at night as well, but we'll just have to live with that. Hey, Ari Paul, how you doing? Glad you can make it to the stream. I've been having some issues with the notification going up on the YouTube page in advance. Did you see the little thing saying that there was a live stream scheduled for today? I'm hoping you did and it was okay. All right, we'll go through the checklist. So, parking brake is set. Chocks have been removed, ground power unit is connected, and active thrust levers are at idle. Batteries are on and reading good. Generator switches are on. External power is on. We'll get the adheres going. There we go. Display panels, the brightnesses are all set. Nav lights, I believe I threw on. Yeah, nav lights are on. Panel lights are on. Gear lever checked down. Flaps checked, retracted. Spoilers checked, retracted. Fuel quantity is good. Alright, let's get the seatbelt signs on. There we go. And we can get a hold of the tower. Or the ground services anyway. And we'll get them loading or putting out the jetway. We'll get catering. And we'll get baggage. And we'll get fuel. Alright. So the radios are on. Transponder 7000 is good. Beacon light, not going to worry about yet until we get ready to start the APU. Emergency lights are on. Okay, so the cockpit. Okay, great, 24 hours ago, that's great. For some reason, when I log into the site, it didn't show it until 10 minutes prior. So at least you guys are seeing it, and that's what we want. Back to base, yeah. So the 4 bases we operate out of are Manchester, Edinburgh, London Heathrow, and London Gatwick. Nobody has released airport scenery for any of them. So what I'm hoping for is the first one to release scenery. That's kind of the one I'll use mostly, so I can get a good airport to fly in and out of as a base for our operations. Anyway, I did not preload the flight plan tonight, so we're going to have to go into it manually. So let's get that set up here. So our information is correct for our aircraft. So our route today is EDDF to EJLL. No issues. And our alternate, let me just go check my flight plan, is EGKK. So our alternate is Gatwick today. Not expecting to have to go there. The weather is looking really nice tonight. Lufthansa flight 278. Cost index will be 25. Go there. And we'll be flying at flight level 300 or 30,000 feet. We'll go to the performance page. And it's a flaps 1 takeoff, and we can reset the V speeds. So our V1 of 125, VR of 131, V2 of 134. Transition altitude 10,000 and 1838 for the thrust reduction. Flex temp, can't change it, 20 degrees. It's all fine there. So we'll go into the flight plan. I'm going to pull up just to show the route. Let me go to here, and so I'm going to bring up our Navigraph. So we're down here in Frankfurt. We're going to basically take off to the southwest. We're going to fly westward over to Luxembourg. At Luxembourg, we're going to turn north, fly up through Belgium, basically right across Bruges, out over the North Sea here. Then we'll turn westward, enter England north of the Thames River, and then we do our approach and arrival into London Gatwick. Well, fuel truck is here, so yeah, fuel's good. Thank you very much. You can go away. So that's our approach. We are currently, let me turn that on. So here's the airport. Frankfurt. We're currently at our gate over here. We are taking off on runway, I believe it's 25 left. So it's a short taxi over to here, and then we will take off. Or is it 25 right? I can't remember. Let's just take a look. 25 left. So it'll be a short taxi out, and then we're good to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and enter in our flight according to what I have. So from EDFF we are going to Sobra. That's S-O-B-R-A as our next waypoint. From Sobra, we head out to Bitbu, B-I-T-B-U, as our next waypoint. Hopefully I don't get duplicates and all that fun stuff kicking in. From Bitbu, we go to Demul, D-E-M-U-L. I didn't like it. D-E-M-U-L. Let's try that again. There we are, Demul. And from Demul we go to B-U-B, which I believe is a nav aid. We may get duplicates on this one. Yeah, so we're gonna have to pick out which one it is. Looks like we'll go with number 1 and see if it put it in. Yes, it did. And after Bub, it is Logan, which is the beginning of our arrival. So Logan. And obviously looking at the latitude and longitude, we can figure out easily which one it is. We're right by Greenwich mean, or the prime meridian. So it will be that one. All right, so we are taking off on runway 25 left, right here. And we are going out on the SOBA 5P departure. So we will insert that. And our arrival, I'm not expecting the weather to change, so we'll put it in now. Our arrival, let's grab my chart. Is the Loga 1H onto the ILS for 27 left. There we go. What do you mean there's no star available? Well, we're going to be going via... Let's see. Just pull this up. Big BNN or CHT. We're not doing that. I think we'll just yeah, we're just going to vector ourselves in. That's fine. So that's all set up. Radio navigation, the ILS is 109.5. And checking the chart, 109.5. It's... pretty much done right there. So I'll quickly show that. This is our departure. We're going to be taking off. We're going to be on the 5P, so it'll be the northern one here. And we come down and we will pull up here to Sobra and then carry on our route as filed. So it's a pretty simple departure. Basically, we're a 220 knot restriction until we're established on our way out there, and then we can speed up to 250. So, very nice, very simple one today. Alright, so how are we doing? So, everything's up. So, I'm going to get the APU starting up, so we're not sitting here for too long. As soon as that flap door reads open, we can start down the rest of our stuff. We'll do the engine start after push. Well, actually, we'll see where we get to. So, beacon goes on because we're starting up the engines in the back. We can go back to our proper position. Right about there. So there's no restrictions on climb out, so we're okay there. So that is good. So everyone's on board. Let's check the doors. Cabin door's still open. We're waiting on the load sheet. Cargo looks like they're all loaded. Catering is done. So we're good to go there. We will get a hold of them on the ground and have them pull the jetway since everybody is now on board. Alright, it's not working that way. So we'll do it this way. Remove the jetway, please. I don't know why I changed my view. Well, it looks like the jetway doesn't... Oh, is it moving? Yeah, there it goes. Okay. Alright, looks like the APU's up. So we'll do our check. Doors are all closed. We will lock the cabin door. That goes back to normal now. There we go. Cabin door is locked. I'm gonna get a couple aircraft around tonight. Pretty cool. So APU is on. APU bleed is on. APU generators are good. External power disconnected. Get ready for the push. Pushback truck is there. All right. There he comes. So our push today is gonna fuel. I hate it when the fuel truck parks right behind the airplane. I mean, you just fueled me up. Obviously, I'm leaving. Yeah, AirPal live traffic is on. You can see on the TCAS it was showing a few aircraft that were already up and indicated. So we're probably going to see them taxiing around as we head out. So we're going to taxi back, or push back, and then we're going to push tail left. So we'll wait for the bump and then release the parking brake, and then we can go into our engine start procedure. There we go. There's the bump. So thrust levers are idle. Engine area is clear. Fuel pumps. Come on. Oh, it's all 4 fuel pumps are on. Engine mode selector goes to engine start and starting engine number 1. How are we doing out here? Alright, start turning us. And there's the fuel truck, just ignore him. So you can see here on the TCAS, all these diamonds, they're all active aircraft. Alright. Oh, we're pretty close to the line there, so we'll go straight back for a minute, straighten the wheels, and that's good. In fact, you can see one moving out there ahead of us. It's just over in that area there. So we're monitoring engine 1, and 1 is rotating, EGT is up, we have fuel flow, N2 is up, and engine is stable. Alright, engine number 2. Turn the lights up here. Ooh. There we go, and 30,000 feet will be our cruising altitude today. So for you guys riding in the back, you have your choice of seats today. You can sit on the left side looking out at the left wing, or you can look out on the right side over the engine. One thing I do wish they had in here is the playback replay feature, which would be really cool to be able to go back and look at landings and stuff like that, especially for making videos. Alright, engine 2 is stable. Hydraulic pump switches are on, APU comes off, and the engine mode selector can go back to normal. So before taxi checklist, probe window heat comes on, heading indicators and altimeters. Current altimeter here at Frankfurt is, I'm just pulling up the weather, 1022. Let's get you switched over. 1022. There we go. Standby instruments, 1022 here as well. There we go. Something I forgot. And that one. So, radios and avionics are set. Autopilot is set up and ready to go. Flight director is turned on. Auto brake set to max. Flaps going to 1. And spoilers are armed. Elevator trim is set to 1 up. And flight control check. Left, right, neutral, full back, full forward, neutral, full left, full right on the rudders, and we're back to neutral. So I hope the radios are, you can hear the ATC coming through now. Forgot to do that. Too many buttons and switches to hit. Alright, taxi lights can come on. Beacon light is on, that's fine. And we can start our taxi. Out to the runway. Oop. There we go. So hopefully we don't run into anybody out here. Well, there are aircraft moving around. Do is I'm going to kill the dome lights here. Alright, so I'm going to hang a right here. So we're going to head down to 25 left. And we got other aircraft waiting around us. So the one thing about live traffic is it is a little bit of a hit on frame rates, but it's not looking too bad at the moment. So we've got a bunch of aircraft down this way. Hopefully they just stay where they are and let us get down to where we need to go without too much of a problem. So basically we gotta cross back over this runway to the other side and then head down further left. Because this... Actually, no we don't. The taxiway goes all the way down. Yeah, we'll be fine. You can just stay here. Yeah, I've been in there a couple times. It is always a busy place. Huge airport too. Looks like we got somebody landing ahead of us. Coming in there. Alright, so let's do the final TO config. And we'll give the flight crew the ding.
Camera crew seized for takeoff.
So, Paul, are you hearing the ATC in the background? ATC radios? Just want to make sure. I've got it turned off for me. I just want to make sure you're hearing it okay. Alright, the next one here is where we're going in. This is Lima 3. Yep. This is where we're going to turn in. Okay, I'm going to turn on tower in a second. Just let me know if you hear them as soon as I get stopped here. Alright. So, brakes are on. Alright, just turn tower on so you may be able to hear it now. Should be fairly quiet though. So, parking brake is on, flight instruments are checked, engine instruments are checked. Takeoff data, V1 125, VR 131, V2 134. Nav equipment is checked. Landing lights, come on. Strobes, come on. And nose wheel to takeoff. Pitot heat is fine. De-ice is fine. Transponder goes TARA. PWS goes on auto. Weather radar goes on. And let's do a quick look out the window. One aircraft coming, but we'll do a rolling start, so we should be good. So we'll start the chrono and head out on the runway. So everything is good. We're ready to go as soon as we get out. Oh, what a beautiful sunset. All right. Nose forward. Engines to flex. SRS and runway enabled. Airspeed alive. $80 knots. 100 knots. Easing off the pressure. V1. Rotate, increasing to 17.5 degree nose up. Positive rate, gear up. Ground spoilers disarmed. Thrust lever to climb. Alright. Nose coming down for acceleration. And turning on course. Flaps and slats retracting. There's our acceleration. Angling up for our climb. And autopilot is engaged. It's a great office view. The weather's good. It's should be a few clouds around, but it's fairly clear. I'm just checking the weather injection again. Oh, looks like it just injected. All right, we got some cloud. Yeah, still finding a few little issues with Rex weather. So the flaps are up, slats are up, climbing out, pitch positive. Spoilers are up, landing lights will come up at 10,000. We should be good. Landing lights can come off. Taxi light can come off. There we go. Seatbelt signs are off, so you guys are free to move around. Let's get a look out the window there. Yeah, it's annoying, that bleed through of the beacon. Still a lot of bugs with this thing that are being reported, but it's a slow work in progress to fix it. So for everyone else who is joining us, we are flying from Frankfurt to London Heathrow this evening. It's just after 5 o'clock. Game time, sim time. So this is an evening flight tonight. Basically going to be flying west to Luxembourg, northwest over Brussels and Belgium, out over the North Sea, and then west over England into London. You can see a little bit down through the clouds, but not too much. But it should be a fairly good cruise. So we're now over Luxembourg, and we're making our turn. Well, we're not over Luxembourg yet. We're still on the way out to it. We're making our turn westward now. Climbing pretty good. And it's fairly stable. I know one of the recent patches they fixed the porpoising and rolling left and right a bit, so not lot smoother flight now. So there's through 18,000. We'll go over to standard pressure. And we'll monitor the flight. Yeah, they do have a lot of bugs to deal with. And to be, you know, honest with them, they are being very active in putting out information on what bugs they're dealing with and what their list of priorities are. They're releasing that out. So, oh, aircraft just passing by over there. They are good with that. So we are seeing accurate information, accurate estimates of when they're going to be dealing with matters. And they got a lot to do. Let's face it, this is a huge sim, so they're doing it. But a big shout out to all the guys that are doing the modding. The freeware mods like the ones I'm running here on the Neo. With the virtual airline I fly with, when I get up to the 787, there's mods for that. I'm going to be starting some stuff with the Citation CJ4 shortly. They've got mods to fix some of the stuff in that, so it makes it a lot more enjoyable. But still, hands down, graphic-wise, I mean, look at this sunset here. It's outstanding what you can see and do so far in the game, and it's only going to get better. So, very much looking forward to that. So ETA is about 50 minutes from now. This isn't a long flight. I think it's 50 minutes airtime. Kind of a commuter flight type of deal, short haul. I've just completed a series of flights for the virtual airline that really stretched this airplane to the limit. Part of the thing with the introduction of the A320neo in Microsoft Flight Simulator is they've shifted the fleet around. And I flew for a subsidiary airline called Topa Sky down in New Zealand, flying caravans to start with. And they've got they had a couple regular Airbus A320s that would fly over to Australia and back, and a couple other islands. And they're replacing them with the A320neos. So they put up like a mission on the website for ferrying the airplanes down, and had to do it in 3 legs. It was Toulouse, France to Dubai, Dubai to Singapore, and Singapore to Cairns and on Northern Australia. I think the Dubai to Singapore leg was the longest, and that had an air time of 7 hours and 10 minutes. So really pushed this airplane to its max range. It's a lot of fun. The videos will be coming shortly for those. It was a good challenge. Did them back to back over 3 days. A couple nights, some of them at night, some of them during the day. It's pretty intense. So Paul, are you running Flight Sim currently? Alright, so engine instruments, engine's looking, oop. Oh, there we go, going into leveling. This is one of the things they've got to fix, is these little things like these quick adjustments and rapid changes and stuff. I know what it's doing. We're gonna go up to Mach 8.1 on our speed. I think some of these changes are too abrupt. So autopilot is set, everything is good. We're gonna go to there once we get settled in. Lights are good. Cruise numbers are looking good. Cabin's looking good. And now we're just cruising along. Yeah, landing is definitely the hardest part. I remember when I was doing my real world lessons, my instructor would say that, you know, not only is landing is basically a controlled collision with a planet, and you are you know, trying to take something that at slowest speed is what cars do on highways and touch it down. So when you're going a lot faster, you know, it takes a bit of fine handling. The thing I find that you don't get here is that sensory feedback. In an airplane, you can feel what it's doing. So you don't get that here, but it's pretty good. My problem is I've got an old Logitech joystick I'm using, and there's a little slop in the center, and it makes doing fine adjustments, like for flaring and stuff, a little difficult because there'll be nothing, and then all of a sudden there's a big jump. So I'm trying to work on that. I got another airplane passing off to our right there. I'm gonna turn you down. You're a little bit too close to red line up there at 8.1. So I've been on the lookout for new joysticks and stuff. I don't have a throttle quadrant, which is another thing I want to get. So I'm gonna purchase the new Thrustmaster TCA Airbus stick and throttles. Problem is you can't get them anywhere. In fact, you can't get any joysticks or rudder pedals or anything. Incredibly hard to find around the world right now because so many people have jumped into the flight sim. They just bought them all up. So everyone's kind of waiting now for stock to be reissued and new stuff to come out. Oh, the honeycomb yoke? Yeah. Did you just get the yoke, or did you get the throttle quadrants and stuff with it as well? So my history with this is the first the first flight sim I flew was on an Atari 2600 in the early 80s. And I've pretty much flown every version of Microsoft Flight Simulator since they came out. And of course, flying real life, I've flown various other simulators and stuff over the years. So it's flying is great, and I never got to the airline pilot or commercial side of the house, but it's great to fill those dreams in the sim, as it were. Late February, wow. Yeah, I could be waiting that long for my new joystick too. So I thought for next weekend's stream on next Saturday, I did a flight about, I don't know, 13, 12 years ago, flying from my home airport just north of Toronto down to Boston, Massachusetts in a 172. Now I had to stop in Albany, New York to clear customs and everything like that. But I was thinking of doing a live stream next Saturday, recreating that flight. So taking a Cessna 172 from my airport and reflying the route. But this time, heading down to Plymouth, Massachusetts, home of the Pilgrims. Kind of a Thanksgiving thing. I know our Thanksgiving passed recently. The American Thanksgiving's coming up shortly, so I thought that'd be kind of neat to recreate that flight in the 172. Don't know if you'd be interested in seeing that. It is only a 172 and not an airliner, but I think it'd be fun to do. Yeah, 40 years in time. It's amazing, the advancements in computers. You think back, was it the 60s and 70s? I think they were saying that given the size of computers and how expensive they were, no one would ever be able to have one in their house for personal use. And hell, you look at the stuff you can get now. You could run a space program on it, given what they used to do back in the 60s and 70s. All right, so we're over Luxembourg. We're just about to make our turn to the northwest, cross over into Belgium, and then there we go. and then we'll head up over the channel. We've seen a couple airplanes. There was a few down at Frankfurt. We've seen one or two in the sky. I know one of the, not bugs, I guess, but one of the complaints, was not enough live traffic. So if they do the live traffic properly, and they put the ability to have ATC route them around us, that would be great, because then we wouldn't have to listen to the game ATC, which can be annoying at times, and we would have you know, other aircraft up flying around up here with us. Back on my FSX days, I did do a bit of VATSIM. I haven't set it up for here. A lot of the flights I do recording for the channel, I am flying at odd hours, and there's usually not people around on it, so no point setting that all up and then there's nobody there to talk to and stuff. So I just kind of do it this way. Can't remember if that's the new moon or that's the waxing or waning. Not sure. Can never remember which side it is for which. But it's a pretty dark night out here. I think for now I'm going to turn that weather radar off. So for our approach, just pull it up here. So for our approach, we're going to be coming in over the North Sea to Logan. And then from Logan, we are going to head out here towards Lamb. And then from Lamb, we'll just kind of vector around and get ourselves into the approach for Heathrow. If we look, there's our approach. Basically coming straight in this way and down the glide slope. So it should be pretty good. Shouldn't be too much of an issue as we move in. Yeah, the ATC isn't constant. I tried to spread it out so it wasn't overwhelming, and I've got the volume turned down low so it's just in the background. I'm not hearing it, but it should be coming in on the recording. And it is real ATC. They're clips that have been recorded currently. So these clips that I'm running right now are all European ATC. So it should should kind of be giving us the voice a little bit, European voice.
723 with you 210 for 2.
Oh, the flickering lights. Yeah, that's a bug. That came up with the latest Microsoft patch.
Up to 320 now.
195, I think it is. A lot of people have been reporting it, so hopefully that gets fixed soon. Not sure when the next patch is going to be. You don't see it much during the day, but at night it is incredibly annoying. It's almost like somebody's got an old black and white TV going and it's flickering those images onto the screen. Not much to see outside. It's
yeah, 1226, that's perfect, thank you.
It is a dark night. It's not a night flight, it's an evening flight, so right now you'd all be enjoying your microwaved, what are we in Germany? Your microwaved beef stew and gnocchi or spetzel. No. Maybe having a nice Pilsner or something. Yeah, it's 8:30 or 18:30 local time. So this is a dinner time flight. Start seeing some lights ahead. It's dark enough that the city lights are shining through the cloud.
Ready for level change, this 16 Foxtrot.
I haven't flown into London from Frankfurt. I've flown into Manchester a couple times when heading over there. So Logan, as you can see on our display here, our PFD, that is our start of the star, the arrival, which we're going to kind of fly manually since for some reason it's not, and that's another problem with the sim, it's not showing up a lot of the SIDS and stars and stuff.
Virgin 103, Mike, contact control now on 122.980, goodbye.
Well, yeah,
070,
so one of the series I'm currently recording is in Japan. Now, they did the update to Japan, and having flown in Japan early in the sim, it does look a lot better. The buildings look more appropriate and stuff. So they're going to be going through various regions over the next few months. I think they're releasing one region a month if they get it done, to update stuff, fix terrain errors, some of the water issues where the water and terrain meet, building heights, more appropriate buildings, stuff like that. I don't know if they're going to be able to fix things about buildings being too tall. A lot of that is driven by the Black Shark, the AI process that's putting 3D buildings onto the 2D satellite images or aerial images. I don't know how they set restrictions on height that way.
Orange 369 over Moco.
Hopefully we'll be able to do it. I mean, for what they're doing though, I did a local little flight around, Toronto, my area, and even some of the big towers have the proper business logos on them that are actually on them. So, however they're doing that and getting that information in there is amazing. Very, very impressive. Oh, getting a little bit brighter over there. Looks like we might be catching up to the sun. Clouds have thinned out a bit down there. Hey, Monkey 88. How are you doing tonight? Sorry I didn't see you when you first came in there. And to everyone else who is joining us, welcome. We're on our way from Frankfurt to London Heathrow tonight. Not a long flight, and it's a dinner flight. We left just after it was getting, or pretty much at sunset in Frankfurt, and now we're kind of chasing the sun as it were. So I think we're going to be in perpetual sunset all the way to London. Although once we drop down in altitude at London, it'll probably just get dark. We are coming into autumn and winter, and of course, Northern Europe in winter is almost in perpetual darkness. I think about 5 to 7 hours or so of gloomy daylight a day. So when we get closer to Logan, we'll start looking at our approach information for Heathrow.
American 151 over delivery, contact radio on 6547, radio service terminated, good day.
This is 6547 from American 151, good day.
So we have assigned gates at Heathrow, so just checking what terminal I've got to go to. Terminal 2. So it'll be a right turn off of the runway when we get there. So that big spot of light over here is Antwerp. So we're coming up for the coast. This down here is Brussels. And only ever been there once for a couple days. Never been to Antwerp and never been to Bruges, although I definitely want to go there and see the architecture.
American 151 still with Shannon.
Alright, so there's our final turn as we head directly to our approach entry point. There's another aircraft down there. You can see the red and green lights with the strobe light going. So there are other airplanes out here, just not a lot of them. There should be more. Not seeing anything else really in the area. TCAS is not adjustable, so probably not going to show up. Yeah, I really like wandering around old cities, seeing the architecture and the just the way they've integrated buildings that are hundreds of years old with modern day conveniences like in stores and air conditioning and utility and stuff like that. It's really a cool juxtaposition of the two eras. But I know Bruges has been kind of maintained a lot more historic, so definitely on my list of places to go once we're allowed to travel again. So I've updated my schedule, as I mentioned, on the YouTube page. What do they call it? The community page or the discussion page. So basically, I'm aiming for 5 videos a week and a live stream every Saturday. Although I'll tell you, we've taken a step back in the COVID stuff, so if we end up going into lockdown again, I might stream a lot more, just to keep myself from going crazy. So we're 32 minutes since takeoff. The flight is going well.
Good afternoon, Lufthansa 400 heavy level 3.
Start to see the coastline ahead.
Lufthansa 400, good day, identified.
Let's see, where are we? This over here is Ghent. The city of Ghent in Belgium, and then there's the border with the coast, and we are going to be passing I think that's probably Bruges right there. And there's the coast with, I guess it's the North Sea at this point. We're out of the channel. Yeah, there's Antwerp off to our right.
Good afternoon, Jamrock 1 Alpha Charlie, fast 25 times Q80 over PCL.
Jamrock 1 Alpha Charlie, good day, identified.
Yeah, it is, eh? It's pretty much the only thing we can do. I mean, I just retired this summer, and I had trips planned and places to go, and it was so frustrating having to cancel all of them. But what can you do, right? So, this gets my travel bug in. A little bit of cloud. Not too bad. Gorgeous night. Best night flight I ever did was flying from Toronto down to, I think it was Florida.
Condor 212, good day, identified, confirm next point after midnight.
Or maybe it was in the Caribbean.
Next is...
Because I was flying down the east coast to the U.S. at night, and it was dark, and there were some pretty amazing towering thunderstorms going on, which for about an hour and a half provided this awesome light show as we flew by them. It was pretty impressive. So we're 80 miles out from Logan. We might as well do a little bit of flight planning here while we're cruising along. Just give me a sec. Sorry, just had a wicked cough there.
Tango, continue climb to flight level 370.
So let's pull up the weather
Shamrock 13 Tango.
for London. I'll get an update. So yeah, winds are almost non-existent. So the QNH currently at London Heathrow is 1023.
Virgin 137352, climbing 360, like to leave 370 for as late as possible. We're direct.
Current temperature is 11 degrees Celsius.
137, hello to you, identified, Roger.
And winds are 310 at 2 knots. I don't know why they just didn't put variable. Almost nothing there. Transition altitude will be 5,000 feet. And
Dog 285, control, good day to you.
I'll show you this.
Continue heading.
We'll maintain present heading, and Delta 285 is ready for the.
So this is the approach plate for the runway. You can see London Heathrow, ILS DME for runway 27 left. This is how you approach and where the holding position is if you have to hold. And this is the glide slope information. What we need here is the decision height, and there's a couple different ones depending on the category of landing you're doing. So a category 3B means the airplane lands itself. So there is no minimum altitude you need to be able to see. 3A is 50 feet, category 2 is 177, category 1, 277. If you're doing the localizer, it's 640. And of course, if you're doing visual, it's like 1,000 feet. So, based on how far down the glide slope you're going to allow the aircraft to handle everything, it has all your restrictions here. So, we're just going to go with the Cat 1. We're not worried about it. So, that's going to be a decision height of 277 feet. Which is 200 feet above the ground because the airport elevation is 77 feet itself. So we will go over, and we'll put in 277 feet for our decision height.
47 now, or later, Delta 131.
Now MDA will be the, I think the ground radar height. So that's minimum decision altitude. So that's the difference. One is based on atmospheric pressure. The other one is ground radar. So if you're really bad weather, you'd probably want to use the ground weather one. But I don't know. It's a little bit beyond me. And our nav is still set up for the ILS, so we're all good there. So that's the information in. I don't think it's going to change much. Everything should be pretty good. So 2,500 feet is our approach altitude.
9063, control,
What we're going to want when we
to Malak direct.
start heading down the slope. So once we get down to 80 miles from here, the decel point, I think we'll set, say 10,000 to start, and then we'll work our way down from there. Probably the easiest way to do it. I do wish that was a priority. They were working on getting that that VNAV fixed. Sorry, Paul, what was the WOW for?
Delta 229, level 350. Delta 229, good morning, identified.
Nothing but sea below us. I think that's the coast of England just starting to come into view over there. Alright, so I'm gonna just dial in the 10,000 feet. We'll just get ready for a descent. I'm going to do a vertical speed descent. There's three types of descents you can do in the Airbus A320. There is the managed, which would work great if the VNAV was working in the sim. And that would take it down based on the altitudes that are pre-programmed.
Now for American 723.
Oh. East Coast weather, yeah. So that is the one we normally do, but it's broken. There's what's called an open descent. So if I was to hit open descent, my speed was say 300 knots. The aircraft would descend at whatever angle it needed to maintain 300 knots. The one we're going to use is the vertical speed descent, which means I'm going to tell it to descend at a certain feet per minute. In this case, it's going to be
1226, that's perfect, thank you.
about 2,000 feet per minute. And that will bring us down at that set rate. So, roughly speaking, to descend 30,000 feet at 2,000 feet per minute, you need 80 miles. So it gives you a rough guesstimate to work out, and you can do the math to do that. At 250 knots, you're traveling at 4 miles a minute. So if you're going to go 40 miles, it'll take you 10 minutes. You can also work out if it's 10 minutes, you're descending at 2,000 feet per minute, then that means you're going to descend 20 miles. So you can do some math to figure that out as you go. Because you kind of have to right now since the VNAV isn't working, as I said. So when we hit Logan, we'll start our descent. I'm also going to have to keep an eye on here. Something I'd forgotten about because I don't fly airliners for a living. Is that Mach speed is based on your speed of sound. And speed of sound varies given altitude because of air density. So the lower you go, the higher the air pressure, the faster your speed is for a given Mach. So I was descending and leaving it at Mach 8.80. As I descended, that 0.80 gets faster and faster, and soon you're into overspeed. So you got to keep an eye on that. And then I think it's below 25,000. You can switch back over to knots, and then I peg it for 25 or 250. And that's good. The other thing to bear in mind if you're flying these airplanes, the fuel burn rates aren't right. So the ones, the default A320, I'm not sure what the other airliners, but the default A320 in the sim burns too much fuel. So if you're using something like SimBrief or some other planner based on the real life performance of this airplane, it is, and you load your fuel on a long flight to that, you're probably going to run out of fuel. I'm running, like I said, the A320nx mod, and they've played with the numbers and it's more accurate. But still, I tend to overfuel my airplanes just for that matter. I want to keep enough fuel on board. I don't mind tankering a bit of fuel. After all, it's not really costing me anything. So here's England. Now, if I have it right, this is Kent down here.
5583, ready service terminates.
Probably like Canterbury over here. With Broadstairs and Ramsgate in this area. And then this is the entrance to the Thames estuary. And up here is, and I don't know what's north of Kent.
Orange
This
369
is,
over
I think,
local contact radio on 5583, ready service terminates. Bye-bye.
Colchester, Brighton-Sea, Holland-on-Sea, all these types of places up here. So we're going to come up this way and around and then kind of come down from the north. And hopefully the weather isn't too bad over London and we get to see some of the sights as we come in. London is showing... Well, showing clear. Not sure how much I believe that at the moment. So we're 11 miles away
31, climb flight level 350.
from Logan, where we'll make our turn and we'll start our descent. 10,000 feet to start, and then we'll vector ourselves in so we're not bouncing all over the place. Yeah, so we're 46 minutes into the flight, almost 47 minutes, so it should be about an hour's flight time.
Stop time 350, cancel 242.
And yeah, for next Saturday, I'll plan the Cessna flight down through the, well, to New England. All right, so we're 80 miles out from the airport. So I'm going to initiate our descent. We'll initiate the vertical speed mode. We'll set it for 2,000.
American 151 over Limerick contact radio on 6547.
Start bringing the speed down, let the engines go to idle.
6547 to American 151.
I want to keep them at idle during our descent. Flickering's annoying. But there we go. Just about to cross over into England. So for those that are watching, head over to or you're on the YouTube channel, but take a look. I'm trying to target 5 videos a day, or correction, 5 videos a week, plus a live stream. However, if we go into COVID lockdown, I may do a lot more streaming just to keep myself sane. I do some scheduled airline flights like this with my
American 151.
my virtual airline. I'm also doing a couple tours of different things with different aircraft. Starting on Monday is a tour of Japan, now that Microsoft have updated it in the sim, and that's being done in a Beach Baron. On Wednesday is my tour of Wales, which I'm currently flying a Cub Crafter's X-Cub, which is a little tailwheel airplane. I'm about halfway through that tour right now. And on Fridays at the moment, I'm releasing what I'm calling sightseeing videos. I'm just picking points that are interesting to go look at, and picking an airplane out of the fleet and going and seeing what it looks like and what's happening with that. So just released one, I think it was the Grand Canyon, just got released. I've got another one lined up, and then probably do a couple more. And I'm taking suggestions in the comments for these videos. If you have a suggestion of a place you'd like to see, or a short route, maybe 20 or 30 miles between a couple airports, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to go in and do a video on them and kind of showcase that area so we can see what's happening. So this, I believe, is a wind farm. So this is the top of all the turbines, a big field of them. Yeah, they provide power, but man, do they spoil the landscape. Okay, so this is currently taking us a little bit more south than I thought. We're basically going to be flying up the Thames Estuary, which is fine. Got a little bit of cloud ahead, not too much. Alright, so speed's creeping up again, so we're going to go over to here and crank her back to 250. So we're 40 miles. I'm going to take this down to 2,500, and then I hate when it does that too. And then I'll just adjust our rate of descent to put us into where we need to be. So we're not doing too bad.
Lufthansa 400, good day, identified.
Yeah, we basically chased the sunset all the way here. I'm sure it's going to be pitch black when we arrive. So we're through 20,000 feet. So unfortunately, everyone's got to take their seats again.
Good afternoon, Jamrock 1 Alpha Charlie, pass 25 times 280.
Jamrock 1 Alpha Charlie, good day, identified.
Cabin crew starting to do their final cleanups of the cabin. The Thames actually running kind of along here. It's gonna have us go to the south, which I don't really want, so we're gonna
Condor 212, good afternoon, flight level 320. Yes,
kind of head directly to the airport.
234.
Condor 212, good day, identify, confirm next point after Vedra.
Next is 48 north, 20 west.
So that
Condor
should put us
212.
like flying right through central London, which could be cool. Yeah, seeing lots of lights down there. Alright, we're through 18,000, so going back to normal pressure, and pressure at London was 1023. So almost the same as in Germany. There's the river running up through London.
13 Tango, continue flying to flight level 370.
Continue flying, flight level 370, Shamrock 13 Tango.
That is London City Airport, right there. It's an old shipyard, and one of the side piers they converted into an airport.
Virgin 137, hello to you, identified, Roger.
I'll increase our descent a little bit. Alright, so seatbelt sign is on, radios are set.
Delta 285,
Speed
control,
back to
good
210,
day to you,
or
identified, continue heading.
There we go.
We'll maintain present heading, and Delta 285 is ready for the 320 whenever you're able.
Delta 285, climb to flight level
There's
320.
Heathrow.
Departing 280
There.
for 320, Delta 285.
Normally we wouldn't fly in over the city like this, but we are today. $30 miles from the airport.
Delta 154, restriction at Denham, cross Denham 1246 or earlier.
1246 or earlier, we copy that, TUI 154.
Another aircraft. By the looks of it over there. I think that's Gatwick over there, south of London. Luton, I believe, is to the north. Alright, coming up to 10,000 feet, so landing lights go on.
Delta 131, channel restriction, cross Mallet 1247
Taxi
or later.
lights are armed. Ground spoilers
Or later, Delta 131.
armed. Auto brake set to actually low. Won't do the flaps yet, we're way too fast. Oh, there's an airplane coming in from the right. It's an airport.
Afternoon, London, jet speed
That's
96341.
down.
Jet speed 9063, control,
Looks like he's climbing out. He's coming in to land. We're heading for the left runway here. 27 left. That moon's taking a blood red look, blood red hue. Now he's either crossing crossing over that way, or he's going to be landing in front of us. So we'll have to keep an eye on him.
Lufthansa 9919, now again identified.
China X89 Delta Echo, contact 135.230. Good day.
I think he's landing in front of us. Yep, he is. So we're gonna have to slow down. Start bleeding some speed.
Delta 229, level 350. Delta 229, good morning, identified.
There we go. Keep that speed off. Go bring her back to 210 now. Alright. Flaps 1, speed check.
American 723 is with you 210 for 280. American 723, good morning, identified. Continue flying flight level 320. Up to 320 now for American 723.
Creating a little bit of space here. Slow us down to 180. Alright. Flaps 2, speed checked.
United 126, how many miles to top of descent, please? 67 miles to top of descent for United 126. United 126, that's perfect, thank you.
Oh, looks like he's pulled off. Alright, so approach mode is on. Landing system is on. So it's a localizer cut. Yeah, he's going around. $2,500 and glide slope is captured. Speed to 145. Flaps 3, gear going down.
Swiss 16 Foxtrot Heavy, flight level 360.
Swiss 16 Foxtrot, good morning, identified, and report ready for
Gear down 3 green, full flaps.
Ready for level 6, Swiss 16 Foxtrot.
Landing speed is set. We're captured on the glide slope. Speed is set. Parking brake is verified off. De-icing is off. Landing gear is down. Autopilot's required. Go around altitude 2,500. Should be 3,500 is set. Auto thrust is required. No blue. Thing the crew. Landing speed is set. That's set. Spoilers. Oop. Are armed. And everything is set.
Virgin 103, Mike, contact control now on
So,
122.980.
didn't you
Goodbye.
acknowledge?
Tomjet 070, also Shannon control now 122.980. Goodbye.
There you go. Alright, we are on our final approach. Other aircraft has left to our right. I have no aircraft on the runway.
Virgin 29 November over Moco, contact radio on 5583, radio service terminates, bye-bye.
Radio 5583, have a American for the best, 29 November, goodbye.
Continue.
Orange 369 over Moco, contact radio on 5583, radio service terminates, bye-bye.
583, have a nice day, Orange 369.
Us down.
31, climb flight level 350.
It's reverse thrust.
350, United 31.
Aircraft is slowing. $60 knots. Reverser's off. And we'll take this exit right here. Auto brake off. Well, welcome to London.
Morning, Austin 993 Heavy, level 300.
Yeah, I gotta say that was one of my better ones, given this joystick. I think I'm starting to find out how to handle it. All right, so let's halt here for a second. So parking brake on. So spoilers. Oop. Again with that quick mouse. Disarmed. Flaps are retracted. Engine mode selector on. Normal. Landing lights off. Off. And off. Strobe lights come off. Anti-ice not required. APU will get up and running. Brake temperatures. Check our wheels page. Brake temperatures are fine.
American 151 over Limerick, contact radio on
Transponder set to
6547,
standby.
radio service terminates, good day.
This is 6547 from American 151.
Flap open yet? I'll get back to that in a second. I want to pull up my airport chart. We're heading to Terminal 2A. Sorry, yeah, flap open. There we go. So we're going to 2A, so we're going to go ahead and we'll taxi Bravo over to 2A. Oh. Taxi light would help. There we go. So not bad. An hour and 5 minutes or so on the flight from takeoff to landing.
American 151 on 6547.
American 151 still with Shannon.
It's Terminal 3 on our left.
747, maintain flight level 320, deck 2 Moco.
American 757, good day, identified.
A little fast. There's Terminal 2 over there. And we're going to look for one of the gates along here.
That's a 9919, descent
Still the cars driving off the top of the building there. And there. Wow. Let's
9919, turn left heading
not look over there.
080.
And 19 left, turn heading 080.
So we'll see if we can find a spot to tuck in over here. There should be one somewhere. This is a lot easier to see in the day.
Victor Golf 6991, climb flight level 380.
Interesting couple of Frontier aircraft. Yeah, we can go right here. Oh, let's get the engines up. There we go. So they're stockpiling cars and equipment here.
Lufthansa 400, good day, identified.
All right, Paul, we'll see you later. And here we are. So, parking brake off. Thrust levers are idle. Ground connection is made. Ground power is available. We'll shut off the APU. Engines now come off. Parking brake is on. Nav lights will stay on. Beacon comes off. Strobes go off. Exterior lights are fine. Passenger signs. Passengers can get ready to disembark. There we go. And that is pretty much
Good afternoon.
ground services, and get the jetway in.
Stomach 1 Alpha Charlie, good day, identified.
And taxi light can come off. Well, folks, we're here at London. Thank you very much for joining us. We will see you next time. Next Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern. That's what, 1700 Zulu for the next live stream. We will see you all then. Have a good day.